What's going on YouTube? It's your man Wrestling Collective Marv here with another Thursday Night Live. Hope everybody's doing well. Sorry about the 1 minute or 2 minute delay. The internet was acting up. Can't control it. Just gotta work with it. But here we are. It is Thursday. We're heading into the weekend. Tomorrow's Friday Night SmackDown. Seeing a couple of matches for SmackDown. Not too sure if it's really going on, but I'm definitely hyped about the last time it is now tournament for John Cena. I can't believe that John Cena is actually retiring next month. Yes, the month has passed. The date is finally here. I think it's what, December 13th. John Cena's final match, main event, Saturday night main event. But the question is, who is gonna be his last opponent? I heard names like Jacob Fatu. Well, no, not really. I heard names that's gonna be in the tournament. You know how they got this mysterious opponents for I think it's what, LA Knight and Solo Sikoa. So I heard names of Jacob Fatu. I heard Sami Zayn. I heard Randy Orton. I heard Obafemi. I heard Zilla Fatu because he's now with TNA. I heard Edge, but I don't know how true that is. I would love it to be Edge, honestly speaking. I would love it to be Edge for John Cena's last match, John Cena's last opponent. It'll be awesome if it was to be Edge. But being that, Edge is in AEW, and we know how AEW and WWE is not really seen eye to eye because in the beginning it's like, oh, there was no competition. Now there's a lot of competition because at the end of the day, you can't sit there and knock AEW. They doing pretty good. In the beginning, they wasn't doing too good. They was mid. Then they went down. Then they coming back up. So at the end of the day, you can't knock them. They're doing pretty good. Then you got a lot of wrestlers that went from WWE to AEW. Says a lot too. Like we got the almighty one, Bobby Lashley, Adam Copeland, Edge himself. We got Christian over there. We have Samoa Joe. We have Danny Bryanson. We have what else? Who else? Andrade. He went back after leaving. So it's like at the end of the day, it's like it's a big difference. But like I said, I would love it to be Edge, but I really highly doubt it. I hear things about Chris Jericho coming back to WWE. Just recently, I seen I think it was a podcast of Chris Jericho talking about the difference between AEW and WWE, and basically, I don't want to say he was shaming AEW, but he was basically saying how he feels, and it wasn't a lot of good things. And I'm sure it's because Tony Khan, I don't know, man. He's a weird individual. I don't personally know him, but just seeing how he is with the wrestlers and how he just personally is, he wants everybody to give him a tight hug. This is business, buddy. Get yourself a cuddle, buddy. Matter of fact, get yourself a thunder, buddy. But like that's kind of weird. Like I don't know. I always said that Tony Khan, the way he hugs wrestlers. I never seen a video of Tony Khan hugging Sting, because I think Sting would have gained the Scorpion Deathlock. But I think about that, like, I seen a lot of people that join AEW. Excuse me, I'm cracking my back real quick. A lot of people that join AEW, and I seen, their interaction with Tony Khan. And I remember the Tony Khan when he tried to hug Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe just looked at him like, bruh, if you hug me, I'm gonna put you to sleep. Tony Khan kept his distance. He was just like, give me a handshake, please. But I was just like, I don't know. Tony Khan, like when I first started watching AEW, I'm not gonna knock the product, but at the end of the day, it's not the product. It's just the people that's in charge of the product. But like I said, when I first started watching AEW, it was off the chains, and it still continues to deliver. I actually watched what was it? AEW last night. I think it was the Bad Blood, and they had the first women's Bad Blood match, and it was pretty sick. There was a lot of blood involved, but it was pretty sick. I didn't finish watching the product yesterday because I was tired. I'm getting older. Tomorrow was actually my 42nd birthday. Tomorrow I'm turning 42, and even though I still feel good for 42, I definitely get tired faster. I went to Rhode Island Comic Con on Sunday with my girlfriend, and we had a good time. But man, when I got home, we didn't even walk that much because we just went in to see to basically meet Ric Flair and also Sting himself. Sting. I seen Billy Gunn. I seen I'm tired. Excuse me. I seen Tommy Dreamer. I really wish that I would have went on Saturday because I met Chris Jericho when I was a lot younger. But I wanted to meet Jericho again because it's been so long. I met Jericho when he first came to WWE, and he had the whole flamboyant look going on with the ponytail in the middle of his head and the tight, shiny pants with the tight shirts and the tight, shiny shirts, I meant to say. And, you know, like, I met Jericho back then when he came from WCW into WWE, and he had the little flamboyant look going on. Well, I wouldn't say flamboyant, more like the little flamboyant rock, I would have to say, excuse me. I'm still going to say flamboyant, so I'm just contradicting myself. But yeah, like, I met Jericho when he was a lot younger, and you know, he was a little cocky, but he was chill. You know, that was, I guess, his gimmick back then, and he still, I guess, has the whole, you know, cocky gimmick going on, but he's more humble now because he's older. And unfortunately, he wasn't there on Saturday. That's what I'm trying to get to. He wasn't there on Sunday. Excuse me, on Sunday. He was there on a Saturday, but not on a Sunday. And I wish I would have been able to see him because I believe Sunday that I went the 9th, it was actually his birthday. I think he turned 52, if I'm not mistaken. And people are trying to knock him on social media for the way he looks. I think he looks good for his age. You know, you can't knock Chris Jericho. He's been wrestling for years, and I'm not gonna lie. At one point when I first seen him in AEW, he was out of shape. He was really out of shape, and I was just worried for his health because at the end of the day, I never seen Chris Jericho like that. But thanks to everything, you know, like he's been, I guess, transforming his body little by little, and he's back in shape at his age now. So, you know, shout out to Chris Jericho and happy belated birthday. But people gotta leave Chris Jericho alone. Talk about he look like a Krabby Patty. Like, bro, leave the man alone. He's 52 years old and he still looks good for his age. Like, and I guarantee you, the people that talking crap about Chris Jericho are people that are overweight and out of shape and just are mad at the world because all they want to do is eat Twinkies. Let me stop talking shit. What I do is eat Twinkies, and I love my Twinkies too, but I don't eat too much Twinkies. My girlfriend loves Twinkies, though. She loves Twinkies, and she loves the Chips Ahoy. What is it called? The Chips Ahoy drink you'll be drinking? Yeah, Chips Ahoy fraps from McDonald's. Oh my god, I talk about, yeah, I'm losing weight. One Chips Ahoy cup. It's like the Gremlins with her. Can't eat after late. Ding, 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 ding. But anyway, I'm so tired. Excuse me, guys. Not tired. It's more like I have a lot to say, but at the same time, like, so out of it because I didn't go live last week. We'll wait for this week. But I'm actually excited for Raw. Javon Evans is actually going to take on Gunther. Welcoming back Gunther for his first match. So I can't wait for that match because we all know what Javon Evans can deliver. But yeah, like, I can't wait to see that match. But definitely more interested in who Solo Sikoa is going to fight on Monday night because it's a mystery opponent. I really hope it's somebody like Zilla Fatu. I really hope it's somebody like Chris Jericho or even Obafemi. Because we seen Obafemi come out NXT after Ricky Starks defended his NXT championship against Trick Williams. But it's like, why have Obafemi come out in the ending of that show if he's moving on to the bigger name brands like Raw and SmackDown? It could be like a little farewell thing or a teaser, like try to throw us off. But I really wish, in a way, it's Obafemi. But I'm starting to feel, honestly speaking, because the way it's going down, the way it's looking, I'm starting to feel like the person who's going to win this tournament for John Cena is going to be Sheamus. I would like to see Sheamus as a Grand Slam champion. Sheamus been after the Intercontinental Championship for a while. When Gunther had it, he never had the chance to become champion. For some reason, they decided to put Drew McIntyre in the Intercontinental Championship picture also. Don't even know why, because at the end of the time, at the end of the day, I feel like it wasn't a championship that Drew was really interested in. He was interested more in the World Heavyweight Championship or the Undisputed Championship. But they put Drew McIntyre in that, so it kind of threw everything off because we had Sheamus fight Gunther for the championship. He lost. Then we had Drew, and I believe he lost. And I believe we had Drew and Sheamus fight Gunther, and they both lost. So it was like, I don't know. But I really feel that it could be Sheamus winning this tournament, and it could be Sheamus getting the Intercontinental Championship from John Cena. Because at the end of the day, I'm sure in John Cena's last match, since it is going to be his last match, and he just beat Dominic Mysterio to become the Intercontinental Championship. I do believe that in his last match will be the last time he is Intercontinental Championship. It only makes sense. I don't think the reason I let him retire with the championship, because it's not like he needs that championship in his home. It's just something that, now he's officially a Grand Slam champion. He's retiring, and now he actually retired and said that he was actually a Grand Slam champion in WWE. Here I am looking for a hat, and the whole time it was there. So, to me, that's pretty dope that, Cena is actually retiring a Grand Slam champion, because at the end of the day, he deserves it. But like I said, I really feel that it's going to be Sheamus or Rusev to be the last ones to fight Cena in the last match. But I'm really hoping that it's more Sheamus, because Sheamus, has history with Cena. So does Rusev, but the history to me between Sheamus and Cena is more special than the history between Rusev and Cena, because Rusev was more like, the gimmick that Rusev had going on back in the days. He was this Russian from Russia that wanted to destroy everything that had to do with the United States. Hated everything about the United States. Used to come up with a Bulgarian flag and wave it around and say USA sucks and all this stuff. And Cena was like the patriot from the United States, and he held it down, and they had their battles. But I just feel like the whole thing between Sheamus and Cena was more because Sheamus was a rookie that came in, beat the life out of Cena, and took the championship away from him. So it's like, even though we don't want to see Sheamus beat Cena one more time, but I just feel like, why not give the chance to the guy that John Cena helped build his career, and return, he'll be the guy to put John Cena to rest. The guy that made Sheamus will be the one to take the fall for Sheamus. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the same dude that helped Sheamus get up there, and now Sheamus will return the favor. Like, okay, you helped me get up here, now I get to retire you because you was the one that helped me. It makes sense. I don't know. There's just a lot of technicality when it comes down to John Cena's last match, because as much as we all want it to be Edge, I feel like it's not going to be Edge. As much as we all want it to be Edge, I feel like it's not going to be Edge. And I really hope that it'll be Edge. But I don't know, man. It'll be dope. It'll be dope to see Edge one more time against the GOAT himself, John Cena. Talking about John Cena, I got some John Cena figures here in front of me that I didn't realize how many John Cena figures I had already unboxed, because I got some more John Cena figures behind me, but they're Ultimate Editions, and I haven't really unboxed those. But I do got a lot of Elite John Cena figures in front of me. Here we have John Cena with I believe with one of his favorite shirts, that You Can't See Me Mario version shirt. So we got this figure unboxed. This is one out of my John Cena collection. This is number 2. Respect is earned, never give up. The green, John Cena. Number 2. Then we got, this is also one of my favorites right here. The Never Give Up, 10 Years Strong, John Cena, navy blue. Don't know why they get in the red and black sneakers though, but it's John Cena, you can get away with it. Then we got, of course, the Hustle, Loyalty, Respect, black and royal blue, John Cena shirt. Number 4. Then, of course, we got the World Life John Cena with a chain across his neck. World Life Brass Knuckles with the old school versus WWE shirt. World Life. Number 5. Then we got the rookie John Cena with the orange and royal blue attire. And of course we have another John Cena figure with the spinning championship. And of course we got the red with the Cena Nation red and white jersey. Cena Nation with the spinning championship. You can't see me. It's number 8. And of course we get the most recent, Last Time Is Now, Farewell Tour, Royal Blue, John Cena. Well, not Royal Blue, I guess it makes Royal Blue and Navy Blue, John Cena figure. And of course we got the 17th time You Can't See Me clear Elite John Cena figure. My 10th figure out of Cena. Figure. Like I said, 10 John Cena unboxed figures. Had no idea I had this many unboxed John Cena figures. I just had to go through my collection today and I was like, I had no idea I had these many unboxed John Cena figures. I thought I had at least like probably 5 or 6 unboxed figures. But no, we got 10 John Cena unboxed wrestling figures. And to me, that's crazy because here I am always like, yo, I don't even got that much John Cena figures. But this is proof that I got a good amount of John Cena figures. Literally, we got, 10 John Cena figures. And of course, if you guys don't know about these actually been hitting up the stores, Walmart, the minifigs. We got the GOAT himself, John Cena. There's actually, this figure right here was actually given to me by a coworker, an old coworker. And there's also John Cena. Pretty sick fig. Where's my drink? Here we go. But yeah, Survivor Series, as we all seen this week, WWE's not even trying to hide it. Survivor Series look like it's gonna be good. Honestly speaking, I feel like the way it's looking for Survivor Series, I feel like this Monday night we might have a 3-on-3. It might be the Vision and Logan Paul. The Vision and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes Jey Uso and CM Punk. But I feel like what's gonna happen is if they do have that 3-on-3, it's just a hunch. I'm not saying it's been officially, put down there. But I feel like if it does happen, that they do have the 3-on-3 Logan Paul and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed versus Jey Uso, CM Punk, and Cody. I feel like what's gonna happen is Roman's gonna come out to help Jey because he's getting jumped, and that's when they're gonna introduce Brock Lesnar as the 4th member of the Vision's group. I feel like the 5th member though for the Vision is definitely Drew McIntyre. A lot of people want it to be Austin Theory, so did I at one point. But I feel like it's definitely gonna be Drew McIntyre because Drew McIntyre got beef right now with Cody Rhodes. Remember, Drew McIntyre they trying to make it look like the baby face, because if you don't pick up on things when it comes to wrestling, when Drew McIntyre came out last week, the clothing that he had on was white when he got suspended on SmackDown. The clothing that he had was white. What do light colors mean in wrestling? Babyface. Cody's been wearing a lot of dark colors recently. He hasn't been wearing no blue suits or tan suits, or he's been wearing like a lot of black, a lot of dark suits. Keep an eye on things like that. I'm not saying that Cody's gonna turn heel because Cody's still the babyface of wrestling right now, but I feel like sometime, sometime they might move that way. I don't know. In wrestling, you can never fall asleep on things. Because it's like, what happened with Austin? Nobody ever seen Austin turning heel. I never seen Austin turning heel until I seen him turn heel and join Vince McMahon to become champion again. And when I seen that, I was like, wow, Stone Cold Steve Austin turned heel to be WWE champion again. So ever since I seen that, me being a big Austin fan and, seeing Austin over the years come out and Stone Cold stun Vince McMahon and give me a hell yeah if you want me to stun my boss, or and then when you see Austin turn heel, I was like, bro, I seen it all. And it's like I said, you can't ever really fall asleep because The Rock was babyface, turn heel. Oh, you can say he was heel, turn babyface, turn heel. Chris Jericho, babyface, turn heel, babyface. Who else? Undertaker was kind of a heel in a way, but then was kind of a baby face, and then was kind of a heel again. Triple H, baby face. No, Triple H was heel, baby face, heel, and then, and it's like, same thing with Roman. Roman, baby face. Everybody hated Roman when he was baby face. Now Roman's a heel. Oh, the tribal chief. Everybody loves him. But it's like, so it's like, I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised. There's been a lot of talks about Chris Jericho coming back to the company. Don't know how true that is. It's just been speculation between fans and, social media. But that'll be dope if Chris Jericho was to come back. I really, if he was to come back, I'll be all for it, because at the end of the day, I would love to see Chris Jericho come back to WWE, retire, and be put in the Hall of Fame. Because at the end of the day, he deserves it. It's like the other day I was talking about, Sting. That, Sting, in the Hall of Fame and everything. I was actually talking to one of my friends, but I was twisted, so I was kind of confused about the whole situation. So I was like, yo, that you definitely put Sting in the Hall of Fame. And now that I come to think about it, I was like, Sting is in the Hall of Fame. What the hell am I talking about? But the way he made it seem was like, it's kind of crazy how they own WCW, but they don't want. And I was like, yeah, that is kind of crazy, bro, because it was like, it shouldn't be like that. But it was just me. Too much to drink. But like I said, I would love it if it's, and Jey Uso versus The Miz. I would love The Miz to beat Jey Uso. Sorry. I would love The Miz to be the dude to beat Jey Uso, because at the end of the day, if The Miz was to have a chance to get closer to beat Johnson, to have a chance to get closer to be able to take on John Cena one more time, because we do know The Miz and John Cena got history, that would be dope. That would be dope. The Miz and John Cena one more time, that would be dope. I'll be happy with that, because we all know that The Miz and John Cena got history, and it's something that at the end of the day, you don't know what could happen, or you don't know what we could get out of that match, because it's a match that nobody really wants, but it's a match that if it was to happen, it'll be fire, because I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, The Miz versus Jey Uso, I really hope The Miz wins. Honestly speaking, I want The Miz to win, because that'll be dope. LA Knight versus the mystery opponent. Mystery opponent for LA Knight, man. That'll be dope if it was to be either Sami Zayn or Randy Orton. I would like to see LA Knight win at least a match in the tournament, but if it's Randy Orton or Sami Zayn, I don't think he has a chance. Even though if it is Sami Zayn, nothing against Sami Zayn, he has a better chance of beating Sami Zayn than to be beating Randy Orton. Just saying. Even though I feel like he done beat Orton before. Just saying. But for the Solo Sikoa Mississippi opponent, it'll be dope if it was to be Chris Jericho or Obafemi. I really hope it is Obafemi for Solo Sikoa. That'll be dope as hell. Obafemi comes out with the ruler song for his walk. Yo, that'll be so fire because it's like, what they gonna do, bro? What they gonna do with Obafemi? Like, come on, man. My man's a beast. That'll be dope if Obafemi was to come out and take on Solo. Or what if it's Obafemi versus Jacob? I mean, excuse me. What if it's Obafemi versus LA Knight? That'll be crazy. But that would be dope, though. That would definitely be dope. It was gonna be Obafemi versus Solo Sikoa. Cause they got beef. They got beef. But that'll be double. That'll be fire to see. It'll be sick to see. It'll be interesting to see Solo Sikoa versus Obafemi because we never seen it before. So that'll be fire. But yeah, I don't know, man. Survivor Series, War Games. They're already pitching the matches. We already seen CM Punk tell Adam Pearce, hey, tell the Vicious to get a team together because we got a team. And then of course we seen Adam Pearce talk about, oh, are you telling me what I'm thinking you're telling me? And then I don't know, you seen William Regal pops out. War Games! I'm like, yo, I'm done. So it's interesting in a way. So we got already Jacob. Why I keep saying Jacob? Jacob is coming back soon. I don't know why I keep saying that. CM Punk, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes for War Games so far against Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Logan Paul. Like I said, the fourth member I do believe is gonna be Drew McIntyre. Don't know why, just getting a hunch. The fifth member definitely Brock Lesnar. Excuse me, my neck is killing me. I think it's the weather. Definitely Brock Lesnar. But definitely will be Brock Lesnar. But definitely for the CM Punk, Cody, and Jay, I definitely feel like it's gonna be Roman. I definitely feel like it's gonna be Roman. Definitely feel like it's gonna be Roman. I still can't believe tomorrow's my birthday. Still can't believe tomorrow's my birthday. It's crazy. 42nd. 42 years old. Like I said, you know, besides the shoulder injury, I feel great. The shoulder injury is the only thing that's really been bugging me at my age now. I got injured at work, and ever since I got injured at work, it's been like, oh my God. It's like the worst thing ever. So I just got a notification that Carmella gave birth to a baby boy. And as you can see here, we have our first picture of Carmella, Corey Graves, and their baby boy. So congratulations to Carmella and Corey Corey Graves on their baby boy. Congratulations, both of them. No better feeling than being a parent, honestly speaking. Got 3 kids. When they get older, they're little assholes. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We watch wrestling here. Little assholes when they get older. But you still love them, you know. My daughter, my world. Even though she's a pain in the butt, but we have to give her mother a hard time. Our boys, you know, I love them even though they can be jerks sometimes, but I love them because they're my boys. But you know, it's like these kids are different compared to how we was raised. I was born in 1983, so my generation compared to this generation is a big difference. Big difference. You know, I just try to show my kids how I was brought up and how things was done, and they look at me like, bruh, I ain't doing all that. And I tell my kids all the time, like, listen, I'm just trying to get you ready for this cold world, because at the end of the day, this world don't give a damn about your feelings or who you know or who you think you are. This world will eat you alive, and you're just gonna sit there and be like, damn. But I tell my kids all the time, like, you know, be grateful that my patience hasn't run out, because there's parents that would be mentally just burned out, especially with everything that's going on in this world. Alice 3 and all this thing, Alice 3, whatever the hell. It's like, bro, why is the government trying to scare us? You know, it's like I say, gotta make life where you can. But yeah, tonight we got some new additions. I actually got a new figure. Shout out to my girl for this figure. She hooked me up for my birthday. We had, like I said, we went to the All In Comic Con. We met Ric Flair, the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Woo! Got to meet Rick. Definitely a sick experience. Honestly speaking, I seen Ric Flair a couple of years ago, and he was a little bit younger. Like I said, I had the opportunity to meet him, but unfortunately, I had met a couple of wrestlers before he got there. He got there a little late that Comic Con, and I met Mick Foley and Moxley. But yeah, got to meet Ric Flair in the weekend. Shout out to Ric Flair. On my Ric Flair figure, and yes, I got face paint on. I got the 1987 look, or 88 look of Surfer Sting. So I went to meet also Sting. And being that I really don't do face paint, and being that I really don't paint my face or anything like that, you know, being that it is Sting and it's once in a lifetime, I was like, you know what? Let me paint my face, you know? Let me paint my face. It's Sting. So there's a picture between me and Rick talking as he was signing my figure. A little blurry, so sorry about that. But I have my Ric Flair figure here, autographed by the Nature Boy himself. Woo! Ric Flair autograph figure. Mission accomplished. Got Rick to finally sign my Ultimate Edition Ric Flair figure. So sick. So glad that I actually got 2 Ultimate Edition figures. As you can see, I have another Ultimate Edition figure here. The only thing that's different about this figure is that I changed the head sculpt. But it's literally the same figure, just a different head sculpt. So yeah, one more time, shout out to Ric Flair for this sick Ultimate Edition autograph. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate you. God bless you. And of course, shout out to my girl that got me this figure right here. I was not expecting this. Like I said, tomorrow's my birthday. My girl was like, "Oh, any figures you like?" And I was like, "Yeah, I seen this figure there, but I like it, but you know, it's kind of pricey." Blah blah blah. So she basically took it upon herself, as I was in line to meet Sting. My camera's blurry again. Sorry, guys. She took it upon herself as my camera was excuse me. I was waiting to meet Sting in line because the line for Sting was crazy, but I didn't mind waiting. Everybody in the line was pretty cool. As I was waiting to meet the icon Sting, you can see here the icon Sting. The Stinger. My favorite wrestlers. She was supposedly smoking a cigarette, but she ended up getting me this figure here, which is pretty sick. Series 1, Jack Specific, Legends of the Ring, and there's actually a TNA Legends of the Ring. And of course, we got here Sting, but it's definitely Surface Sting. So yeah, check this out. 666 TNA Legends of the Ring. And when she gave me this after we left, I was like, "You should have gave me this when I was gonna meet Sting, because I would have had him sign this. I would have had him sign this right here. This is so fire. This is so fire." So I was like, damn. I would have known, I would have had him sign this. This is fire. Yeah, we finally got a Surface Sting to the collection. Hyped about this. I'm still in the hunt for that AEW Surface Sting. If anybody knows where he's at, let me know. Especially if you're in the Massachusetts area around Rhode Island or Fall River. Let me know, because I'm still looking for that figure. I need that figure. I wish I had the money, because I would have got that figure yet for tomorrow for my birthday. But I don't. Gotta pay bills. Have fun for Comic-Con. Now the reality's sinking in, you know. But yeah, here we have that ultimate, excuse me, that Unrivaled Supreme Collection, Walmart exclusive, Sting, signed by the Stinger himself. Shout out to the Stinger, aka Sting, for signing my Supreme Unrivaled collection. Double or Nothing 2021 Stinger figure. This right here, it's fire. I am so glad that I got me 2 Sting figures when this figure dropped, because I always said to myself, one day I'm gonna meet Sting. Don't know when, but I'm gonna make it happen. And here we have that Sting figure. Sign, and I can actually say mission accomplished, because my sister actually reached out to me the other day, and she wrote something to me that kind of left me like, you know, thinking. And she was like, you know, you're the only one in our family that always said that you was gonna meet these wrestlers when you get older, and here you are actually, you know, making your dreams come true. And to me, I don't look at it like, yeah, like it is. Yeah, I'm making my dreams come true. But I don't really look at it like, oh man, like, with my sister, you know, telling me that, I was just like, It's pretty dope, you know. Like, my sister remembers me telling her this when I was young. And when I get older, I'm gonna meet all my favorite wrestlers. And I can honestly say, for the past what 5 years, 5 6 years roughly, that's exactly what I've been doing. You know, when I get the chance, I don't know if you guys see my Ric Flair shirt. Ric Flair make it go ooh on the 50. Woo! 16 time Nature Boy Ric Flair. Yeah, like I said, man. You know, meeting all the wrestlers that I grew up watching. Meeting Hogan, you know, before he passed away. Recently meeting Sting. Before that, Brett. Also met the Godfather. Excuse me. Met the Godfather. He was so cool, down to earth. Got to become like I want to say we buddies, but you know, like he follows me on Instagram. I follow him, of course. Been following him for years. A couple of wrestlers that follow me, like Matt Cardona, the Godfather. I believe All Eagle, Ethan Page also follow me on Instagram. You know, and there's these things that just be like, wow, you know, that's pretty cool because I'm just a regular Joe that loves wrestling. That picture that you guys just seen, well, I don't know if I even show you guys the picture between me, Sting, and my girlfriend. I posted this picture on my Instagram. One moment. I posted this picture on my Instagram. And didn't know nothing about it, but Sting actually reposted it on his story. You know, and that meant a lot to me because I'm like, he didn't have to do that. You know, like he ain't had to do that, but he went out his way. And he posted that picture of myself, my girlfriend, and Sting. And that to me was really humbling and pretty dope because at the end of the day, like I said, Sting is an icon. You know, I've been watching Sting since WCW, and you know, to have him do that for me when in reality he didn't have to, said a lot about the person that he is, and it said a lot about the face paint that I had on that he actually appreciated because that was one of my favorite face paints from when Sting was Surfer Sting in WCW. And I came across that picture and I told my son, like, I have to get my face painted like this. Can you please get up early in the morning the next day to help me do this? He was like, yeah, sure, I got you. But shout out to my son also for that because if it wasn't for him, the mission would have failed. I even bleached my hair and everything, you know, to go meet Sting. Like, I went all in. I was like, we gotta go Surfer Sting, baby. We gotta bleach the hair and everything. I went all in. Because you know what? Once in a lifetime. But I don't regret it. I had fun. I met Sting. You know, I went in with the Surface Thing look. He appreciated it. He loved the shirt. He loved the face paint. He loved the hair. So I was enjoying it. You know, I'm not even gonna lie. I was like so starstruck that when I seen Sting, he was like, "I love the face paint. And I was like, "I love you, brother." He just, you know, he put his arm around me, gave me a hug, and you can tell in that picture, Sting is actually like, you know, like. And when I was getting his autograph, I had a one-on-one with him, and I basically told him that, you know, I appreciate everything he's done for the fans over the years. I mentioned how I grew up in the Bronx, and I mentioned how my younger brother idolized him and wanted to be just like Sting when he was younger. You know, and he touched his heart and was, I appreciate that. He's like, you know, because at the end of the day, I wasn't a positive influence myself going through my own battles, and you know, and I respected that because at the day, like I said, you know, he's just basically telling me that he's human also, and he's not perfect, and he's good. You know, that meant to him, that meant something to him, that even though he was going through something in his life, he was still that positive impact in mine, especially where I come from. And you know, it was pretty humbling to have a one-on-one with the Stinger, even if it was briefly 5 or 6 minutes, whatever it was. But I wasn't trying to take this time. It was fans that were trying to talk to him forever. But there was a lot of fans behind me that wanted to meet Sting and have their moment also. So I got to say what I wanted to say to him, shook his hand, and you know, it was pretty dope. It was pretty dope, I have to say. Ric Flair, you know, I didn't really interact with Rick too much. He seemed tired, and I get it, you know. He's 65, 66 years old on the, 76 years old on the road all the time, doing all these meet and greets and traveling with AEW. So I wasn't mad at Rick at all. I was just like, hey, Rick, pleasure to meet you, sir. And he said, thank you. I was like, I can't believe I'm in front of the living legend himself, Ric Flair. He was like, you know, so at the end of the day, I'm a grown man. I wasn't expecting to be like, hey, kid, you want a hug? You want to, you know? I wasn't expecting none of that, but just to be able to be in front of Ric Flair and have him sign my figure for me was pretty dope. Like I said, it was a dream come true for me. I got to meet the teacher, and I got to meet the students then. And like I say, you know, little moments like that will stay with you forever. And I can honestly say that even though it hasn't been the best year ever, because with my brother's passing and recently hitting a year in October 26th, and it's been pretty rough. But being able to go to Comic-Con and also live out one of my dreams, because I said to myself for a long time ago when I didn't have the chance to meet Rick back then, I was like, damn, I gotta meet Rick because he's getting older. He had already strokes, heart attacks, you know, God bless him. He had wrestling matches, God bless him. So I was thinking to myself, I gotta meet this man because I had the opportunity and I didn't, you know, take it because, you know, I was not in a financial place where I wanted to be. It's the correct words to use. And even though I'm struggling now, I just knew that if I would have passed up the opportunity, I would have regretted it. So I'm glad that I did get to meet Ric Flair. I'm glad that I get to talk to him briefly. I'm glad that I got to meet the Stinger and him making my day by posting that in his story. So shout out to Sting for that because he ain't had to do that, but that really meant a lot to me. Like I said, it was a fun weekend. Me and my girl had fun. We got on that never ending story dragon, what was it, Volcar or Volar, whatever the hell his name is. You guys know what I'm talking about. Valcor, there you go, Valcor. We got on Valcor. We got to sing the never ending story song. You know, it was fun. It was fun. We ate some good food they had there. I have to say it was different from going to Comic-Con and always getting these chicken tenders in this dirty ass oil with these dirty ass fries. Like, nah. Rhode Island, I love you guys. But with the food, this year was a lot better because you guys have food trucks outside and you guys have vendors inside selling food. There wasn't just chicken tenders and French fries. So shout out to you guys for doing better this year. But please, let's make it better every year because I am sick and tired of eating chicken tenders. Because I'm a cook. You could tell the chicken tenders, the oil is dirty. So please, the people that you have there, make sure there's people that just don't want to make money for one day. There's people that actually care about the food they put out. Like the vendors you guys had there this year for the food trucks outside was pretty dope. And actually, I can honestly say I enjoyed myself for being the first time going on a Sunday. So shout out to Raw and Comic Con for putting on a great event. And I'm not trying to knock you on the food. You guys did better this year, and I hope that it continues to get better. Because I'm definitely coming back for next year, and I hope you guys have better. Not that I'm gonna say better, but I hope you guys have more wrestlers, and you know, hopefully more wrestlers because it was not too many wrestlers this year. Even though I did go on a Sunday, so maybe that's the reason why. But I did, like I said, I am grateful to meet Sting. I am grateful to meet Ric Flair. I appreciate Raw and Comic Con for putting on that great event, and you know, can't wait for next year. Hopefully next year we get somebody like, you know, Stone Cold. Let me stop. That'll be dope, though. What? Give me a hell yeah. Stone Cold Steve Austin. But yeah. Got to meet the Stinger. Got to meet the Nature Boy Ric Flair. No regrets. Some more things I wanted to talk about before we get off here. Dominic Mysterio, as we all know, lost the Intercontinental Championship to John Cena. John Cena wins his first Intercontinental Championship and became a Grand Slam champion before he retires. But shout out to John Cena and congratulations also. Chavo Guerrero has recently signed with WWE, and it makes me wonder: are they putting Chavo Guerrero back in the in WWE so he could be part of the AAA Mega Championship card? Like, hello, we all know who's the Mega Champion right now, Dominic. That'll be interesting to see Chavo versus Dominic, because Dominic, talk about he's the best Guerrero. We already know that Ricky Sainz retained the NXT Championship against Trick Williams. Obafemi showing up. Not sure what's going to happen there. Not sure if Obafemi's moving to Raw or SmackDown, because we see him return on NXT. Like I was mentioning earlier, we got Jey Uso versus The Miz on SmackDown tomorrow. I'm really hoping that The Miz wins, even though I have nothing against Jey Uso. I'm a big Jey Uso fan, but it just makes better sense for Miz to win because of the history with John Cena. Other than that, versus a mystery opponent, don't know if it's going to be Obafemi or Jacob Fatu or Sami Zayn. Javon Evans versus Gunther, that's going to be sick. Solo Sikoa versus mystery opponent, which either is going to be Randy Orton, Obafemi, or even Silla Fatu. That'll be fire. I'm not sure where they're going with that, but let's see. Like I said, the Survivor Series War Games is looking good for the men so far. Like I mentioned earlier, I really feel like the fourth member for the division is going to be Drew McIntyre, just because of the beef that he got with Cody right now. Like I said, I see Roman showing up if they have a 3-on-3 this week to help his cousin. But then I also see Brock Lesnar showing up to make it known that he is the fifth member for the divisions with Survivor Series War Games match. But yeah, man, don't know what else to talk about. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's figures. We got some autograph figures by Ric Flair. Shout out to the Nature Boy. Woo! And also shout out to the Stinger. Oh! You know, like I said, excited that I'm at the Stinger and then I'm at the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Got to take my picture with Sting. Didn't get to take a picture with Nate because, like I said, it's a rough year, and at the end of the day, we got the holidays around the corner and bills. But want to thank everybody who showed up tonight and liked this video. And like I said, see you guys hopefully next week. And if I don't, you already know. See you the following week. Have a good night. Collect what you love, and stay marvelous. Oh yeah, and happy 42nd birthday to me, because tomorrow's my birthday, and I forgot all about it because I don't want to turn 42nd. Have a good night, everybody. Appreciate it, over ya. Love ya. And remember what I always say, baby. Corona Free's the way to be. Collect what you love. Stay marvelous.